Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Red Dead Redemption 2 video. I have completed the entire main story and done a lot of what the game has to offer, so in this video I want to give my complete review of what I like and don't like about the game. And for those of you who haven't finished the game's story yet, don't worry, this review is going to be completely spoiler free. I will not be going in depth on narrative or plot points in this video. However, generally speaking, the story is probably one of the best experiences I've had in a single player game. It did start out a little bit slow, but as I progressed through the game, I really felt attached to the characters, which made me want to keep playing the story all the way up until the end. I just wanted to find out exactly what was going to happen. The voice acting and cutscene work is done extremely well. Watching the cutscenes almost felt like I was watching a movie during them. The overall mission structure never seemed to get repetitive for me, at least. I thought that the missions brought a lot of different variety in terms of gameplay. There are high action missions where you do a lot of shooting, and then there are other missions that are a little bit more slow paced where you have to be more stealthy and work your way through the mission slowly, and I thought that brought a good balance to the mission structure. Now let's move into the graphics, immersion, and overall atmosphere of Red Dead Redemption 2. The visuals are honestly mind-blowing. I'm playing on the original Xbox One version, and it is by far the best looking game that I've ever played. I hopped on GTA 5 a couple of days ago, and the graphics don't even come close to how good they are in RDR2. The draw distance and attention to detail in the game is very nice. I love the fact that you can see the smoke from campfires from a good distance away. The lighting, and I guess you could say elemental effects, are also vastly improved from Rockstar's previous games. And when I say elemental, I mean both the weather effects and the fire effects. The fire actually leaves a burning effect on the ground and will actually burn parts off of buildings, which makes it look much more realistic. One time I caused a fire inside of a house, and when it was all done, the door had parts burned off of it, and this is again going back to that insane attention to detail that RDR2 has. There's also the aspect of wilderness that is very well done. In the Everglades at night in foggy weather, it's actually pretty creepy, I'm not gonna lie. The first time I was attacked by an alligator in the water, it actually made me jump in my chair. The soundtrack of Red Dead Redemption 2 is all original, and I have to say they did a great job with it. I think it fits the game extremely well. Not only in the main storyline, but the ambient music that plays too when you're just traveling around the map. There's this little sound cue that plays when you're wanted and bounty hunters are nearby, and it does a really good job of building up the suspense for that situation. Now moving into the gameplay side of things, the AI feels way more alive in RDR2 compared to GTA 5. Every single NPC can be interacted with, and they all will give you unique responses, both vocally and behaviorally. It's a lot of fun just going around town and antagonizing people just to see what they will do. Sometimes they're going to draw their guns or try to beat you up. Other times they'll walk away and try to defuse the situation. One of the major things from GTA 5 that I wanted to be improved on was the hand-to-hand combat system, and while it isn't exactly what I had in mind, it is a step up from GTA 5's. Instead of just throwing punches and waiting to dodge like in GTA 5, you're actually able to grapple people and tackle people. If you tackle them and let them get back up and then hit them, you will actually kick them, which can cause some funny ragdoll animations. Or if they pull a gun out on you and start aiming it at you, if you melee them, you will punch the weapon out of their hand. For example, this one time, this guy was aiming a rifle at me, and I hit that out of his hand. Then he pulled out a pistol on me, I hit that out of his hand. Then he pulled out a knife. The NPCs actually have brains in RDR2. This also works the other way around. Enemies can hit weapons out of your hand as well. It happened to me. I was aiming a pistol at someone, and he just smacked it out of my hand, and I had to go pick it back up. On the surface, the hand-to-hand combat looks dull, but there are features that make it fun. In most games, random encounters can get boring really fast, but I think Rockstar did a pretty good job with them here in RDR2. I still find new encounters that I haven't seen before, even after beating the game. The reason I think the random encounters are more interesting is that there's the whole honor aspect. For most of them, you can choose to be the good guy, or you can choose to be the bad guy and rob or kill the person. Some of the random encounters are just downright odd, though. One that I encountered was really creepy. I'm sure you guys will know which one I'm talking about if you've ran into it yourself. I don't want to spoil it for those who haven't, so I'll just leave it at that and say that there's really weird ones. The wanted system in Red Dead Redemption 2 utilizes the smarter AI to make it more realistic. One of the major problems in GTA 5 was the wanted system. You could shoot someone with a suppressed weapon on Mount Chiliad and get wanted. In this game, you can only get wanted when crimes are reported by witnesses. And if you wear a mask while you're committing crimes, then you will be an unknown suspect until the lawmen see you. As for the bounty system, I have some negative things to say about that we're going to get into once we talk about the things that I don't like about the game. The hunting mechanics for the most part are okay. Each animal will require you to use a different method of killing it in order to preserve the pelt so that you can utilize it for crafting. At first I didn't have a clue what I was doing when it came to hunting, but once you get the basics down it's pretty simple. I really do like the changes that they made to the gunplay. I'm so glad it's not how it is in GTA 5 where every single gun is a laser beam the moment you aim on the sights. In RDR2, when you aim on the sights, it takes the weapon about a second for the spread to tighten up before you get that perfect dot accuracy, and if you move it makes the spread bigger as well. But there seems to be a suppression effect that they added into the game too. Sometimes my aim would just have a lot of sway for no reason, to the point where even with auto aim it made it really hard to hit my shots. Something I almost completely forgot to mention is the kill cam feature. I can't tell you how awesome this feature is. Watching the slow-mo headshots are super satisfying, and it fits the whole gunslinger Wild West theme perfectly. And if you pair this with the gore, oh my god, is it brutal. There are a few things about the gunplay that I do not like though, and here is where we will get into the things that I don't like about RDR2. Number 1, the cover system. When I enter cover, it doesn't feel like I'm actually in cover sometimes. It still feels like I'm vulnerable to being shot. And it also feels a bit too clingy, if that makes any sense. When I take cover, it almost feels like I become one with the wall, and I have to pry my character away from it when I want to get away. Not to mention, when you look around the wall, it doesn't feel as fluent as it did in GTA 5. It almost feels kind of unresponsive when you try to aim around the corner when you're taking cover on a wall. Number 2, and you could probably consider this a combat problem in general, I guess, but it's most noticeable when you're in gunfights. But your health regenerates way too slow. You could have your health core completely full so that you regenerate health the fastest, and it still takes an eternity to fill up. I can get into a shootout, then get on my horse, travel a good ways away, and my health bar would still be ticking its way back up to full like 5 minutes later. Especially since the horse health regenerates extremely fast, I could see if your health core was empty having it regenerate slower, but at max core, I don't agree with it being that slow. It should be way faster. And speaking of horses, the horse death mechanic needs some tweaking, I think. I'm completely fine with having the realism of your horse dying and you having to start over with the bond with another one, but if I have horse survivors on me, let me use them for any type of horse death. If your horse dies from fall damage or getting hit by a train, the game completely kills your horse to a point where you can't even revive it. The mechanic in this situation is more annoying rather than it is fun. Sometimes your horse will just run into the train, and if that happens, well, guess what? You're screwed. Even if you, as a player, made sure that you had horse survivors on you so that your horse wouldn't die, there is virtually nothing you can do besides get another horse or reload your last save. Bottom line, just let us revive the horse from any type of fatal damage. The outfit system in RDR2 is horrendous, to say the least. Saving an outfit is so much more confusing than it needs to be. And why can't we rename our saved outfits? It's annoying on my horse scrolling through saved outfit 1, to saved outfit 2, to saved outfit 3, and so on, to find the one that I actually want to put on. Also, is it even possible to get a new bandana mask? I haven't found a way to get anything besides the basic black one, which seems kind of lame to me. How is there only one bandana mask? The masks that cover your whole face being stored on your horse is a dumb mechanic in my opinion. How can you store tons of bird and rat carcasses in your satchel but not a cloth mask? You can even rip off an entire pelt from a bunny and stick it in your satchel, which is basically kind of like having a mask in there, but you can't store the mask. You should be able to carry like 3 full masks on you that you can equip whenever you want. It's annoying having to go back to my horse to equip the mask I want, and then if I take it off, I have to go all the way back to my horse to re-equip it. I would also give us a equip button for the mask. I can't remember what mission it was, but it allowed us to put the mask on with one button instead of fiddling with the weapon wheel whenever you want to put it on or take it off. It would make the game much more seamless. Another thing about the weapon wheel, we need a way to store weapons. It gets so cluttered when I have to scroll through 12 separate weapons to get to the ones that I actually want to equip. And I think there's some bugs that have to do with what weapons you own, because throughout the course of the game, I lost a couple of weapons that I had to rebuy, which is really annoying. And then a couple of them got replaced with worn weapons that when I tried to rebuy them, it just sucked my money and took it away and didn't actually give me the weapon. So I don't know if that's a bug or what. We should have a weapons chest at our camp or something to let us keep behind weapons that we don't want to use so they don't appear in our weapon wheel. This is a feature in GTA 5 already, so I'm kind of confused as to why they didn't just bring it over to this game. Legendary animal hunting is fun for the first few times you do it, but it lacks the same learning curve as normal hunting does. Every single legendary animal can easily be taken out by getting into range, activating Deadeye, and targeting it 14 times with a repeater and just letting it fire. I kinda wish there was a little more depth to hunting legendary animals. The bounty system I feel needs some improvements done to it. If you die, you still have the same bounty that you had before you died, which from a realism standpoint makes no sense at all, but I can see why that is the case. People would just die rather than paying their expensive bounty to get out of it easily. I think it's a bit too harsh though. Bounties and paying off bounties, especially early in the game, are extremely expensive, and there even comes times in the story where you have to pay off your bounty in order to continue, which I think is kind of stupid. If we're supposed to be allowed to play the game however we want to, why does it require us to pay off bounties to continue the story? Anyways, that is my complete overview of Red Dead Redemption 2. The positives massively outweigh the problems that I have with the game. Most of the negatives are minor quality of life things that could easily be changed, I think. If I were to give this game a score, I would probably give it a 9.8 out of 10 because it truly is a work of art. However, those minor problems prevent it from getting a perfect score from me. I hope Red Dead Online can bring out most of what the game is all about to a multiplayer aspect without completely ruining the lore of it. We'll just have to wait and see. If you guys enjoyed the video or found it helpful, feel free to leave a like as well as subscribe to my channel for more RDR2 videos. And as always, thanks for watching and have a great day.
Go get him, damn it! No! How many men it takes? Get in there! That's him! Fire!